Hi everybody, I just wanted to send out a big thank you for purchasing my pattern. Today I'm going to take you through the basic skirt pattern. So to create a pattern, you're going to need some basic tools. You'll need a meter stick, a square, a French curve, a small square, a tracing wheel, and some paper. I like to use shipping paper. It's easy, it comes on a roll, it's long. If you're going to be making patterns that you want to keep for a long time, you can use a paper called Manila. It's thick and it lasts for a long time, and it's used in production for patterns. In my tutorial, I use some base measurements. You'll be able to put your own measurements in. I will be doing another clip to show you how to measure the body. And for the basic skirt, we're going to need the center front measurement, center back measurement, the side seam, the waist, the small hip, and the large hip. And the large hip and the small hip have a depth, and I'll be going over that too. Okay, so I have the block ready. It is 50 centimeters wide by 60 centimeters in length. When we create the front and the back, we reduce the back by 1 centimeter. So the front becomes 26 centimeters and the back will be 24 centimeters. Okay, now we have our rectangle divided into 2 rectangles. Our back is going to be 24 and our front will be 26. If you have a much larger stomach, you can actually increase the front panel by 2 centimeters. So in this pattern, we've only done it by 1 centimeter, but you can move it by 2 centimeters if the stomach is quite a bit larger. So now we're going to find the large hip and the small hip, and that's going to be measured from the waist down. So that will be your depth. Okay, so within my tutorial, the depth of the hip is 16 centimeters. I often find that usually it hovers between 16 to 18 to 20 centimeters. I mean, it can vary based on the person, but that's usually where it's going to fall. To find the small hip line, you divide your large hip line in half. And so because this is 16 centimeters, half of that is going to be 8 centimeters. And that's where you'll draw in your small hip line. Okay, so I have labeled it. At the very top is the waist. Then you've got the small hip, the large hip. This is your side seam on your front, your side seam on your back, the front panel, and the back panel. The next step is 2 centimeters on the right of the side seam and 2 centimeters on the left of the side seam. Okay, I have now marked 2 centimeters on the left side of the side seam and 2 centimeters on the right side of the side seam, and I've marked them B and C. And now we're going to use our curve and draw in the hip line. So we just move the French curve until it just, finds the right spot to connect it with the side seam. And we do the other side, just finding the right spot. The back is usually just a little bit wider, and the front is usually just angled slightly lower. Okay, now I've measured 2 centimeters from the center back line, and we're going to connect that to the large hip line. Okay, we're finding the dart for the back. The formula is A to B divided by 3. So our measurement is 20 centimeters. 20 centimeters divided by 3 is 6.7 centimeters. It works out to 6.6 repeats, so I just rounded it up to 6.7. So A to the first dart leg is 6.7 centimeters, and then we're going to do 3 centimeters for our dart take up. And then the next thing we have to do is find our dart point. And our dart point is a similar formula. It's 20 divided by 3, which equals 6.7 plus 3. So you're going to measure along your large hip line 9.7. So 6.7 plus 3. And then you'll be able to connect your dart. Okay, now that we have the back completed, we're going to be working on the front of the pattern. So to find the large dart, we're going to measure from C to D, and we're going to divide it by 3. So C to D is 24 centimeters. Divided by 3 equals 8 centimeters. So we're going to measure from D 8 centimeters, and we're going to put in our first dart leg. Okay, so now we are finding the large dart on the front panel. So we're measuring from C to D, which is 24 centimeters, divided by 3, which equals 8 centimeters. So 8 centimeters measured from D to the first dart leg. And then we're going to have 3 centimeters for the dart take up, and we're going to mark our second dart leg. And to find the dart point along the large hip line, the formula is the same as above, 24 divided by 3, which equals 8. And down here we add 1, so that will equal 9 centimeters. So we're going to measure 9 centimeters over, and that will be our dart point. Okay, so we found our dart point, and we're going to connect our dart. Okay, to find the small dart on the front panel, we measure from C to the large dart leg. That equals 13 centimeters. We divide that by 2, and that's 6.5 centimeters. Then we're going to square down from this line. Okay, so we have squared down from the center of the small dart, and we're going to find 1 centimeter and mark, and 1 centimeter and mark, for a total of 2 centimeter dart take up. Okay, so we've marked in the 1 centimeter on the right and the 1 centimeter on the left of the small dart, and we're going to connect it to the small hip line. That will be the base of our small dart. There. Okay, so our final step is to draw in our back waistline. We measure down from the waistline 1 centimeter, and we mark that E. Now we're going to close the dart, which I'll show you in a second, and we will draw in our new waistline back up to the B with our French curve. Okay, so to properly put in our waistline, you're going to fold along this large dart line. And then you're going to close the dart. Just have to pull it out a tiny bit like that. So it's basically along there. Don't worry about it down here. It doesn't matter as much, as long as you know that it's going to lie flat. And then you're going to take the curve you're going to line it up with the E line, and then it touching the waist and the back hip line. And after you've lined it up with E and the waistline at the side seam for the back, you'll draw in the new line. And then you're going to take your tracing wheel and you'll trace over top of that line right there. And then you can just draw in your new waistline. And that completes the pattern. The next things you'll have to do is alter the pattern for fit. Okay, so you're also going to true the dart on the front pattern, so the large dart and the small dart. And what you're going to do is you're going to fold along the red line, you're going to meet it up at the waist, the small hip line, and then you will use your tracing wheel, and you will do the same thing on the small hip. You can just smooth this line here slightly. You can trace over that line. And then this is how your dart will be. Sometimes darts pop up a lot higher. But for this pattern, because the waist is so straight, I'm only going to pop up a little bit. This is the hemline. So you've got your side seams, your back panel, your front panel, center back line, center front line, the hem, the large hip, the small hip, the waistline, the back large dart, the front small dart, and the front large dart. And that's a basic skirt pattern. Thank you.